Ladies and gentlemen, I have one simple question. Can AMD win this round of GPU generation with its backing of the 7900 XTX and XT series? Let's talk about it. Well, it all depends really on the performance and its price segment to entry. However, we'll find this out sometime this upcoming week, hopefully, with apparently the 7900 XT packing 20GB of VRAM and the 7900 XTX with 24GB, and not to be confused with its previous generations 7970 3GB variants. I guess when you're around long enough you run out of numbers to use, huh? But people willing to pay well over $3,000 on eBay for the 4090 GPU is completely nuts in my view, and it just goes to show how strong Nvidia branding really is. Clearly some have a lot of extra change to spend, and I mean, gone are the days of $1,000 top-end graphic cards being offered to the majority, and I imagine the next generation of graphic cards will only be priced higher from the trend we have been seeing lately, unless something drastically changes. And with AMD cards being right around the corner, you would imagine more would be cautious in regards to such hefty purchases. If the rumors are to be believed, the 7900 XTX will be just shy of 40 gigs of 1TB bandwidth, and with 12,288 stream processors, as well packing 384-bit memory bus, while the cut-down variant, the 7900 XT, will have around 800 GB of bandwidth, 10,754 stream processors with 320-bit memory bus. However, both cards carry 80MB and 96MB respectively of Infinity Cache, making the effective memory bandwidth much more higher in reality than listed. And with the 4090 priced at $1,599 and the 4080 at $1,199, AMD has a real chance here to undercut both of those cards, perhaps at $1,299 and $999, while competing on the same performance level or even beating Nvidia, quote, providing 2 times faster rasterization performance and in ray tracing, in comparison to the Navi 21, the 6900 XT series. With such claims in mind, according to Tech PowerUp, it places 4090 53% quicker than the 6950 XT and almost 60% faster than the 6900 XT. While that is being quite impressive, that claim of doubling of performance in rasterization of the 6900 XT series with the 7900 should leave the 4090 in the dust by a good margin, almost 40% if all checks out to be true. Ray tracing, however, is a different story. Doubling the performance of the 6900 XT won't come anywhere near the performance of ray tracing in the 4090 series. And I'm not even factoring DLSS into the equation. Of course, none of these numbers mean anything until it's reviewed and benchmarked in the real world. Also, 100 watts less for the 7900 XT than a 4090, perhaps making it a more viable overclocker. I guess only time will tell at this point. Either way, AMD has a real chance here to make a considerable gain in their market share from Nvidia after 4000 series introduction into the market. Majority were clearly not satisfied with the direction of pricing of the 4000 series, and AMD can tailor this in their own favor with perhaps less profit per unit sold, but more market share gain in their longer run. Majority of people will cheer on for the underdog. However, AMD needs to decide to be the underdog. In this case, as funny as that sounds, we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar company here, folks. But by introducing in their cards at a far better value to the consumer with aggressive performance to boot is a recipe for success, many would say, I'd imagine. Especially from launch of this GPU, as it were, the market hype for this product is at its peak climax point to change the mind of many of those on the other side to join the dark side. I do hope, however, AMD KOs Nvidia in this GPU generation, not because I'm an AMD fanboy, not by a long shot. I currently using RTX4090 and haven't had an AMD GPU since the 6972GB variant. I don't fancy taking any signs. I've just realized aggressive competition between the two giants will be far better for the end consumer, with better pricing and better tech introduced to win the pockets of those shopping. Perhaps it's the same reason I'm rooting for Intel with their Arc GPU solutions that become a much more viable and mainstream for a more balanced segment field between the three companies. Now, if only the long defunded 3DFX GPU company comes back from the dead, we'd the consumer be finally winning. I'd be the first to jump ship. Till next time guys, peace.